Okay, now we are officially live with the Queen, Wendy Dio. Nice to see you once again.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, so on the show today, we're going to talk. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in 29 minutes. But first, Wendy, here it is. I did
Yeah,
not open it until this interview today. Okay.
okay.
I did not open it. So I made a little cut because I usually have a lot of problems taking off the wrapping at the top, like it's a
Yep,
shrink wrap. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to unbox and you could tell me about it as I unbox. Is that
okay,
good? You like
okay.
that? Okay.
I
This is like
do.
Christmas, but this is like a Yahtzee box. It's like a Yahtzee, is it not? Are just very thick, not hollow at all. Just giving everybody sort of a bird's eye view of this here up above. Look how beautiful, beautiful packaging. Beautiful. So I'm going to
Lots
rip it
of
open
goodies.
now. Lots of
Lots of
goodies.
goodies.
So this is, I should say, this is the deluxe edition of Dreamers Never Die that will be released tomorrow,
Yep. Hmm.
September 30th. Maybe you want to just give a quick little, what's going on tomorrow? How is it going to be released as I open this up?
Oh, it's going to be released tomorrow and all over the place. I think you can get it on Amazon. You can get it in a lot of the record stores. In a lot of, I think Target has it. Oh, I think you can get it everywhere. Hopefully,
And it was on Showtime, correct? It
yes.
was streaming on Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? It was streaming on Showtime, and it was in the theaters. And actually,
Yep.
a year ago today, it was in the
Yep.
theaters. Am I right?
Yes, and what I like about this box set is the fact that um, we, we Americans could watch it in Showtime, but the rest of the world couldn't watch it unless they caught it at the cinemas in just a couple of days it was out. So now it's worldwide, so everybody can watch it.
That's right. The whole world is going to get to witness. And not only that, but you get a lot of goodies. I don't even know what the goodies are yet. I'm going to open it up and we're going to find it out. Okay, so as you can see, have any of your other interviewers opened it up like I have?
One.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I'm not the first. All right, I don't know what this is, first of all. This seems like a poster of some sort.
Yes, it's a movie poster.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I'm going to
it's
hang
the
this up in
movie
my room.
poster.
I'm going to hang
Yeah,
this
it's
up
the
in my
movie
room.
poster of the documentary.
Yep. Look at that. Beautiful. My wife will not like this, but I will hang this right above our bed. No, she'll love it. She'll love it. Okay, so we got a poster. And what's this here?
It's a wristband, and it says "Dreamers will never die" on it.
I'm really bad at opening things. Hang on. Okay, here we go. There's a wristband here. So this is sort
Mhm.
of like, right?
Yep.
Oh boy. It's like I'm in the hospital. So it says Dreamer Never Die, right? And what
Yep.
do we got here? This is like a pin,
That's a
correct?
pin. Yep. Real nice steel pin.
For your battle vest, for the battle
Yep.
vest that people wear,
Yep.
right? Okay, what else? We got a patch also for the battle vest, correct?
Patch. Yep. Nice
All right.
patch.
Are these Kleenexes?
That's right. In
Really?
case you cry.
It's true. It is a tearjerker of a movie, isn't it? So they're Kleenexes. Who would have thought? Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And here, what do we have? Baseball cards?
Baseball cards. Yes, with different photos on them. There's 4 different photos
I'm not going to
in
open it
there.
up because I want to keep it as a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar pick, right?
Yep. 2 of them, I think, are in there.
Okay. And of course, a sticker to put on your fridge
Yep. Mm-hmm.
or on your guitar. And this here, what's this?
That looks like is that the DVD?
No, it's too small for to be a DVD. It says
Oh no, those are the
coasters.
coasters. Those are
Oh, look at
coasters.
that.
Yeah, you put your drink if you're having a beer or a wine or a cup of tea. Those are for your coasters.
Look at that. Amazing. And now we're getting into, okay, now we got a little booklet of some sort right here.
Yep, telling you all
This
about the story of the documentary.
beautiful. Look at that. Wow, it's wonderful. Very well done, by the way, so far. Very well done. And this is okay. Now this is probably the Blu-ray or DVD, one or the other.
Yep,
This is the
that's it.
DVD, right?
Yep.
And a Blu-ray. And for all the people watching out there, if you could play your Blu-ray, you play your DVD on your Blu-ray, but you can't do it the other way around. There you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you could play your DVD on your Blu-ray player, but you can't do it the other way around. You can't play your Blu-ray on your DVD player.
I don't have a Blu-ray.
Yeah. So there you go. And that's the empty box. So got a lot of goodies. Okay, so let's talk about there's some additional scenes, correct? There's additional scenes in the movie. So tell me about that.
Well, when we made the documentary, there was so much footage, but we had to cut out a lot of footage, unfortunately. But on the bonus, we get bonuses. You get Miss Simon Wright, Ronnie's drummer, talking about a story. You've got Wynn Davis, Ronnie's engineer, talking about a story. And then you have Jack Black talking about a story.
Yeah, Jack Black. Jack Black, when he did the Pick of Destiny, correct?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
With Ronnie. I mean, a lot of people love that movie. And Ronnie's scene was the best part.
That's what Jack always says, and he says, and he wasn't in it.
Just Meatloaf and Ronnie, basically.
Right.
Exactly. And little Jack Black. All right. So what really impressed me about the movie, we could talk about that a little bit. I love how when the priest, the holy diver, which I love. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people we know the holy diver here, and I will show also the last year you came out with the Deluxe Holy Diver remix. This picture here, a lot of people don't know who haven't seen the film. I've seen it a few times. This was actually sort of inspired by a real photo shoot. Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, they went down. Gene Kirkland, who was a photographer, went down with the guy that Gene. There's another Gene that actually drew the actual original photo, the original drawing of Holy Diver. They went down to Malibu coast and they put a wetsuit on and went into the water. And Gene was a photographer. And they had chains around him, and he wanted to reenact the actual scene. But what happened? He almost drowned, and then Gene had to end up pulling him out. So it was not a fun time for them at the time when they were doing it. It was a great idea, and the story behind that is, you know, people ask, you know, oh, it's very satanic. There's a devil drowning a priest. But Ronnie's way of thinking was, you know, how do you know that that's a bad guy because he looks like a monster, and that's a good guy because he has a priest outfit on? Never judge a book by a cover. In other words, what everybody looks like doesn't matter. If you're too short, too small, too this, you wear the wrong clothes, doesn't matter. What's inside your heart is what matters, because that's what people should know, not what the outside looks like.
That's very good. Well said. When you rewatched it, or I guess you've seen it so many times now, what have you learned that, you know what, I didn't realize that, or wow, or maybe it inspired a memory of yours that you forgot about?
Many memories in there. It's very bittersweet for me. First time I saw it, I cried my eyes out because we worked on it for so hard. For 3 years we worked on it, and it was longer because of COVID. But you know, there's so many memories in there that bring back to me that I was like, you know, I've forgotten about this, I've forgotten about that, I've forgotten about the accident that Ronnie had. You know, that was a terrible, terrible time. I'd forgotten about the really bad time we had when Ronnie lost his record deal. That was very hard for all of us, because you know, an artist without a record deal feels like nobody wants him. I've forgotten about those days, actually. I've forgotten about how when that happened, he had to play clubs instead of the big arenas that he played. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I'd forgotten about that I brought back memories to me again.
Did you, when you went to the club days, and that was like, let's say in the 90s, like the late 90s, early 2000s, did you think, man, are we ever going to get it back? Are we ever going to get back to where we were?
I may have thought that. I never portrayed that to Ronnie, and Ronnie never thought that. He didn't care. You know, he could play to 8 people or 80,000 people. As far as he was concerned, he was going to He was going to give his all for that 8 people or those 80,000 people. It did hurt him a lot to lose the record deal. I mean, he lost it. Van Halen lost it. A lot of people lost it, and that was very, very hurtful to him. And it was a bad time in his life. Lost there. Lost you for a minute. But I went all over the world to find a new record deal, and I found independents, which were great. You license it to them. You don't give it to them forever and a day, then you get it back. So it was actually a learning trip for me. But we persevered and we carried on, and Ronnie got back up where it belonged.
At the beginning of the documentary, Lita Ford says we had friends who named their children after Ronnie, right? Strange enough, my friend Orlando, he named his son Ronnie. I mean, what are the most bizarre stories or I wouldn't say bizarre, but interesting stories of people naming their children that you remember over the years?
They name their children Ronnie. They name them Dio. In fact, Ahmet Zappa wanted to name his kid Dio, but his wife didn't want him to. But a lot of cats are named Dio. A lot of cats are named Ronnie. I think somebody had a lizard dragon that they named Ronnie. It's a whole bunch of different things, and I think it's fun. I think it's great. And what you're saying about children, I think this is the first time ever in history that kids are listening to their parents' music.
Yeah. Yes and no. I don't know. They are. But yes and no. I mean, they're not listening to as much metal as we'd like them to. That's what I think.
This is true. But it goes in and out. It's always fashionable for a while, and then it's not, and something else comes in. But, I think that Ronnie's fans are always there. I mean, they're the most amazing people ever. He's been gone 13 years. I still have 2.5 million people on our Facebook and our webpage and everything. It's like, Ronnie's, my lot in life is to keep Ronnie's music and his legend alive, and I try to do that. But you know what? I don't have to try that hard because his fans are always there.
Yeah. What did you learn as a manager? Like, okay, so you transitioned from a wife to his manager, and what were the sort of hurdles you had to overcome in the beginning? Because,
God.
Right? I mean, because it's easy to watch somebody do it, and it's another thing to
do it.
The quarterback, right?
Especially in the 80s, because at that time there was only men managers. Yeah. There were no women managers. Sharon and I were the only women managers. And we got it from the man who said, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Listen to me. This is it. Take this advice and whatever." And I listened very carefully to what they had to say, said, yes, I agree, blah, blah, and then went and did exactly what I wanted to do. Sharon turned around, told her to F off, and did what she wanted to do. But we both did it the way we wanted to do it, and we both became successful. And I think that there are so many women managers now, and women make great managers. They are multitask people. Men, a lot of times, don't see to multitask. They take little silly things that maybe look silly to a man, but to a woman, we're listening to what the musician has to say. I've seen bands break up over silly little things that could have been talked out and could have been talked about and sorted out. And I think that women have a lot more listening power to what the musician wants.
Did you find it sometimes, we've talked about this in the past on interviews, you were getting more of the heat because you're the so-called manager,
and the wife,
yeah, and the wife. I mean, oh yeah, well, it's her.
She doesn't
fault,
know what she's doing, she's just the wife, doesn't have a clue what she's doing. Meanwhile, I do have background in music. When I was 17 years old, I was working at Decca Records as an intern in my summer holidays. I worked for a booking agency. I worked for attorneys doing contracts, but those are things that, nobody knew about. And but you know what? It helped me in that, but it was very challenging. Very, very challenging. But you know what? I'm a control freak. Ronnie's a control freak. And together, the two control freaks managed to get to it.
I mean, sometimes you got to play good cop, bad cop, right? When you're running you're running an organization, and I guess a lot of times the manager always ends up being the bad cop, right? Because Ronnie, and I'm just guessing here. I would think Ronnie is just trying to keep the peace with the band, especially in the early days, whereas you had to sort of come across as, no, it's going to be this way, and
Right.
maybe unfairly so sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Ronnie would really have a go at me. I mean, we being control freaks. He wanted it his way, I wanted it my way, and we would have big not fights about it. But the thing is, it was always good for his career. And I think why it worked with Ronnie and I is because I never ever interfered with his music. His music was his thing. I didn't interfere, and he didn't interfere with my business. Sometimes he didn't want to do what I wanted him to do, but he'd end up doing it.
It just sparked the memory. I was reading Geezer Butler's book, and and don't get me wrong here, he loves Ronnie, and he says it throughout the book. But there's one point he goes during the Black Sabbath era, the first go around. They were more laid back, right? Whereas Ronnie was, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I guess they found that somewhat
annoying.
Yeah. I want to be polite here. I love Geezer Butler, I love Tony Iommi, but you could see that Ronnie was driven, whereas Geezer and, they were just kind of a little more laid back. Like Ronnie would say in his book, at least what Geezer said, cut down on the solos, Tony, cut down on the solos, right? But he wouldn't listen because they were used to their ways. I mean, what are your thoughts? I don't know if you read the book or not, but.
I haven't read the book yet. I asked Gloria for it, and she's sending it to me, Geezer's wife. But because I talk to her all the time, I see Geezer all the time. But no, that was true because Ronnie was a perfectionist. He was a perfectionist at his art. Everything had to be perfect and done right. And yes, they were very laid back. There was a lot of drugs going on at that time too. But Ronnie wanted it done, and he wanted it done right. And as you said, they were used to just being, oh well, this is the way it is. Different,
yeah,
different in people.
Yeah. All right, tell me about how it hurt him so much. I mean, there were so many points, there were so many highs and so many lows. He's out of Black Sabbath. Just quickly, I mean, was that more painful than being out of sort of losing the label deal later on, or was that even more painful was that his painful point, the most painful point for Ronnie?
I think they're both equally painful. He loved being in Black Sabbath. He wanted to be in Black Sabbath, but there were things that he did not agree with in Black Sabbath, and so therefore he always did what he wanted to do. So if something wasn't right, he wasn't going to do it. So he had to leave.
What about re-releasing? And I'm just jumping around topics because I know you don't have a lot of time. Ronnie and the Redcaps. Are we ever going to see some sort of major release on Ronnie and the Redcaps?
I don't think so. I don't think so. There's a lot of red tape involved in that with who owns it and who thinks they own it and who doesn't own it and whatever. I don't think so.
All right, last in line. I know we got this one right here. It's beautiful, a remix and remastered. Last in line is
Joe
next.
Barrishi.
Are you planning on to keep on going throughout all the albums and sort of doing remixes? So what's the plan there?
Rhino wants to do. They did it with Joe Barrishi, which I thought did an excellent remix on it. An excellent remix. So you can listen to Ronnie's mix and you can listen to Joe's mix, and they're both different. They're both great. They have plans next year, Rhino, to do Last in Line on that. There's a beautiful release that came out 2 days ago. I don't know if you can see this on BMG. It was the last 4 albums that are in vinyl. It's a beautiful box set.
Okay, really do the unboxing for me, please. Do the unboxing.
Okay. Whoops. Oh, wait, there's one on the floor. Oop.
It's okay. That's part of the unboxing experience. Dropping things.
That's okay. So we have this beautiful cover. We have Angry Machines here.
Beautiful.
And Angry Machines has, let's see, what color is that one? I have to look this one. Oh, and it's got some great artwork in there as well.
Wow,
you can see
look at that.
Yeah, and then the what color is this one? Angry Machines is a Halloween orange.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So that's really cool. And then there is Killing the Dragon.
Beautiful.
And that one is got more great artwork here. You can see.
Wow.
And that album cover is, let's have a look what color that one vinyl is. Ooh, Oh, this one is a swirly greeny yellow color.
Grimy.
Grimy, yeah, grimy. Limey. Are you calling me a limey? Then you've got Master of the Moon.
Beautiful.
And that one, I think this one's my favorite actually. And you got more
Beautiful.
artwork.
Beautiful.
And this one is, I think this is the beautiful blue one. Yeah, look at this one. This is beautiful. Beautiful blue, that one.
Wow.
And then lastly
Aqua.
is Magica, if I can find it. Oh, here's Magica. Magica. That color of this one. This one is, there's a booklet with Magica. And then it's a red one. This is a really, look, then you've got more artwork.
Jeez, that's nice.
And you've got this red one here, which is beautiful. And then you've got this bonus, if I can find it. Oh, here it is, of Electra.
Oh, yeah. Electra, yes.
Yeah. So yes, that one is a little.
Can you just turn around? Let's see the song selection on Electra. It's the song Electra, right?
Yeah, it's the song Electra. And then I have to put my glasses on.
Just put it up there on the screen. I'll read it for you. I got mine on.
Okay, no way. It says it says Electra. And then on the B side is Electra again.
There you go.
Side B, side 1 and side B is Electra. And it's blue.
And it's blue, yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's really, it's beautiful. And I think that's a really lovely box set. BMG did an excellent job on that.
Is that strictly just LPs or is it CDs and LPs?
No, it's vinyl. They're all vinyl.
Just vinyl. They're all vinyl.
Just vinyl, yep.
All right. All right. Now let's talk about bowling for cancer with Ronnie, right? Tell me about that event.
It's our celebrity bowling. Eddie Trunk's always the host. He so graciously gives us his time. Mm-hmm. That's on November 16th at Pins in Studio City. And in the past, we've had, Jack Black and Dave Grohl and Tom Morello and you name it, who's been there. And we don't know until the last minute because obviously people are working, they don't come. But I do know that Jack Black is not touring with Tenacious D. And I think that Eddie Trunk's been talking to Dave Grohl, so I don't know. And I think Geezer Butler will be there this year. I'm not sure if but we're working on a bunch of things. It's going to be a really fun night. We've sold out of spectator tickets. There's a couple of lanes left. If anyone wants to purchase the lanes, they're $22.50. And then we have the auction on Eddie Trunk's team, which is always like the celebrities, and they have an auction of raising money for the cancer. Whoever bids the highest gets to play on the team with the celebrities. But it's a really fun evening with money going to a great cause. Every penny goes to research and education of cancer. We're working with Dr. Wong at UCLA on a saliva test, which is really good because it will tell you early detection if you have stomach cancers or pancreatic cancer, which are horrible cancers that creep up. You don't know till it's the last minute. Yeah, so we've been working on a lot of things. We're working on seed money with different people. It's good. Like Vanderbilt didn't have any money set aside for research on these two horrible diseases. And we gave them $100,000. Someone else gave them $500,000. Then they got $11 million grant from the government to work on it. So, we're working on things.
You know what? It's such a great cause. And you do this, man, you just do it like twice a year, right? You do it to Ronnie in the park.
We're in the park. We do the bowling. And then we used to do Ride for Ronnie.
That's right.
It started to get too expensive to close the street. And there's so much red tape and we have to work on it so long. So now we're doing Rock for Ronnie. We did one last year. This year we've moved because we sold out last year and we couldn't get any more people in. So we've moved to Warner Center, and then that will be on May 19th next year, Warner Center in LA. And we're hoping to announce some great bands that will be on it next year.
Something just came to mind. I always try to think of something that I haven't asked you before, and I think this is the question. Do you remember, and how true is this, Ronnie had a movie in his mind to make. He wanted to make an
Yeah,
animation movie, correct?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
wanted David Lee Roth's voice to be the main character. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
Is
Yes,
this
I
true?
do. This is true. This is very true. Yeah, I think he was working on Magica to be a trilogy, which unfortunately didn't work out. I don't think that's the one he wanted David Lee Roth to work
No,
on,
no,
but
I
I
think
do.
that was, I think the David Lee Roth one was in the 80s.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah, he
this,
wanted a cartoon, a story of Murray.
the, and I think it was a Middle Earth again.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah,
right from
yeah.
memory here, but I
Yep,
think
it was the
he wanted,
Middle Earth. Yep.
it was he want did, how far did he get to that? Like, I mean, in that project, it was just maybe just on paper. Was it something that he was just kind of bouncing
I
around?
don't think he even got to paper. Ronnie was very much doing one thing at a time. You know, he'd be asked to do something, but if he was like on a tour, he could only do that. If he was home, he was writing songs and he was doing that. So he didn't multitask very well.
But he wanted David Lee Roth to sing, or at least
Yeah.
I don't know if there was supposed to be it was a musical or a speaking
No, it
movie.
was a musical. A musical.
It was going to be Middle Earth
Yep.
musical, and David Lee
Right.
Roth he wanted as the main character.
That's right. It was going to be the story of Murray, and Murray is the name he gave of that
That's
monster
right.
that's drowning the priest.
Okay, and I also remember. Here's the last question, as we have a few minutes left. Ronnie said in the papers back when, "I wish I could only sleep for 2 or 3 hours a night."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And he didn't. He actually probably slept 5 or 6 hours a night. He thought that eating and sleeping were a waste of time. He had so many things to do and so many things he wanted to do. He was always busy writing things, doing stuff that he never thought there were enough hours in the day. Maybe he had a premonition that he was going to pass. I don't know, but I know he was always awake.
I remember, and here's the last part, as we have 2 minutes left. He said that he wanted the band Dio right at the beginning. We're talking about right at the beginning, to be like Led Zeppelin, to be remembered like Led Zeppelin. I think he accomplished that. Did he not?
I think so too. I think, I mean, uh, God, I think, oh, well, Lost in Line is going to be 40 years next year,
Yeah.
which means that Holy Diver is probably 42 years ago, and people are still buying it and playing it, and I'm so happy. There's so many young tribute bands out there doing tribute music, which I love. It's keeping Ronnie's music, his legend alive, and I'm so happy that the young kids appreciate the music that he did.
On that note, pick up Yahtzee. No, I'm just kidding. What about Dio Monopoly? Are we getting to that stage yet? With like Iron Maiden has Monopoly, like a Dio Monopoly, something like that, maybe?
I think we did some casino game that's only available in Europe with Ronnie, but I don't think we've gotten to Monopoly yet.
Okay, all right. Well, I won't push my luck. All right, well, it's been a pleasure. I'm really happy that you're always keeping Ronnie's memory alive. You're always, trying to get money, raise money for cancer. I think it's a wonderful initiative. And best of luck to you, Wendy. Neil Turbin will be at the bowling event.
Oh, great.
And he will be there to cover that for the Metal Voice. All right. So thank you very much. Any closing remarks?
Thank you so much for inviting me. Couldn't do it without people like you that support us. And thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, Wendy. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too.